On the Sunday before Easter, all the crosses in the cathedral were shrouded in purple, and as usual we gave out palm crosses. For all its modesty, a palm cross tells quite a story. It's all about Jesus' Palm Sunday entry into a crowded Jerusalem at the start of his last Passover week that ended very dramatically with his execution. Now, a week after Easter, with our crosses unveiled, the wondrous cross of Jesus and the story it tells can be seen in all its glory. Here's a picture of another cross that has quite a story to tell. It's the Lampedusa cross, and it was made by a carpenter called Francesco Tuccio, who lives on the Italian island of Lampedusa, not far from the coast of Tunisia in North Africa. The Lampedusa cross is now in the British Museum. In October 2013, a boat carrying more than 500 refugees fleeing from persecution in Eritrea and Somalia caught fire. It capsized and sank off the coast of Lampedusa. The survivors were welcomed and cared for by the islanders, and Francesco met some of them in the church where he worships. He felt that the only way that he could help them was to collect some of the wreckage from their boat and use it to make each of them a pendant cross as a symbol of hope and love. Pope Francis heard all about this, and he asked Francesco to make him a cross to carry at a memorial service for those who drowned. The British Museum asked Francesco if he would donate one of his crosses. He made one specially, and it was the museum's last acquisition under its former director, Neil McGregor. Francesco wouldn't have made his crosses, and we wouldn't be speaking of the wondrous cross of Jesus if it wasn't for Easter. Easter turns the waste and wreckage of the cross of Jesus into a symbol of hope and love. The Lampedusa cross tells the story of people who hoped for a better world, where they're not persecuted because they're Christians, or in a minority, or different from other people. They simply wanted to be free to live the lives that God has given them. The refugees made enormous sacrifices and took great risks because of what they hoped for. They paid a lot of money to travel in a dangerously overcrowded boat. They were betrayed and taken advantage of by those who wanted to make money out of their misfortune. 10 years on, it's a story we're still hearing. The Lampedusa cross also tells the story of the islanders' love and faith, and the creativity of the carpenter who turned the wreckage of the refugees' boat into something that would give them hope. And without that faith and love, we would never have heard about them. Betrayal, persecution, sacrifice, love, creativity, faith, hope. These are all in the story of Jesus too. And yet without Easter, they would have been lost. Jesus would have been forgotten, just another misguided fool who thought he could change the world. It's because of Easter that we remember Jesus. We celebrate his life, his living presence, his power to transform our lives and our world, because God didn't let the waste and wreckage of his cross have the last word. God revealed his unshakable love and faith in Jesus by raising him from the dead. Easter completely changes the way we understand ourselves and other people, and indeed the whole of life. At Easter, God says to the world, if it's freedom and hope and faith and love and inspiration that you're looking for, look no further than the crucified and living Jesus. The challenge for us is not to shroud this good news, but to play our part, however modest, in celebrating and proclaiming and living it, just like Francesco and the people of Lampedusa did in the story of the Lampedusa cross.